I'm looking at the clock. It says 3:05. I'm not officially supposed to start till 3:15. Now. I'm a union musician. I actually am a union musician, you know. I could get fined for carrying my own guitar in the door back here. But I'm doing this for y'all. At great risk, I carry my own guitar for y'all, just so I could be here and get in the door on time. Because those union guys, they don't show up. If you're going on at 3:15, they show up at 3:14. I just ain't like that. I'd sit down on the riverbank and I'd wet my fishing line, and I'd spend a whole day looking for your perfect Valentine. I'd climb that hill that's called out to me since I was a kid. I'd live the way I said I would, but somehow never did. Truck as far as it would go, maybe up to Calgary to see that big rodeo. I'd stop in some little cafe with a waitress, bless her heart, and I'd leave $100 tip. Hey, that'd just be the start. 'Cause I need more time. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is save every day till eternity passes away, and then I'd spend it with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. And if I had a box full of wishes, stick to my own songs. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're only here for a while, might as well show a smile. Secret of love is an opening up your heart. How does it feel to you? Isn't it a lovely ride? We're gliding down, sliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. And I need more time. And if you wake and find me sitting downstairs in the dark, staring out at nothing, listening to an old dog bark, just come lay down beside me till the dawn comes breaking through. I forget about all these other dreams when it comes to holding you. 'Cause when it comes to holding you, I need more time. Yes, I need more time. Yes, I need more. I need a little bit more, little bit more. I need more time. Don't nobody tell Jim Croce or James Taylor what I just did there. Come gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it as such. They'll be drenched to the bone, and if time to you is worth saving, you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Now you writers and you critics, prophesize with your pen. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. But don't speak too soon, you see the wheel's still in spin. No telling who that it's naming. The loser now will later on win, for the times they are changing. Senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he who gets hurt is he who will stall. And the battle outside is raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Now you mothers and you fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters, they're beyond your command. And the old ways are rapidly changing. They say get out of the way if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are changing. So this is an old classic folk song written by Bob Dylan. I think I've told y'all this before. They call them folk songs because they're for the folks. They're written by the folks for the folks, so that folks can use these songs when folks are going through all kinds of stuff, and they need these folk songs. And folks can take these folk songs and you can change them around a little to fit whatever's going on in your life at the moment, you know. People have been doing it forever. Folk songs. I figured this was a pretty good one, but I figured, well, you know, it is a folk song. And even though it belongs to Bob Dylan, it's a folk song, so folks are supposed to be able to change them around if you want to. So I took the liberty here of adding my own verse to one of Bob Dylan's songs. And again, I do this at great risk. I do this for y'all. So let's all just hope that Bob Dylan's folks don't call my folks and tell me they're going to sue the folk out of me and stop folking around with his song. But I'm going to do it anyway, at great risk, at great risk. Come left and come right, come for all that you're worth. Come every color and kind on this earth. We're the land of the freeloaders, whining since birth. Ain't it time we do some repairing? Now nobody owns us, no one holds the key, and the temperature keeps rising with each disagree. Tell me, where do you think our children will be when the sun gets so hot that it burns up the sea, and there's nowhere to hide and there's nowhere to shade in this wasteland of selfish mistakes we have made? Ain't it time we all start changing? Oh, all right, that's about as political as I'm gonna get. Don't expect me to go any deeper, because yeah, I know I'm pretty deep already. Nobody said being a folk singer was safe. You got to take chances and. No, man, you talk about you know, that song talks about our country and everything and things that happen. I just got back a few weeks ago from Scotland, and oh man, I loved it over there. Good people, the landscape, the terrain, the mountains, the ocean, the water, everything is just like on steroids, it seems. And or maybe because I was taking steroids while I was there, but anyway, it was really fun. And I discovered a song over there, became friends with a great fiddle player by the name of Paul Anderson. He's actually one of the Queen's right-hand men. He's what they call a member of the British Empire. They give you a little medal, and Paul gets to wear that medal around. And basically what that means is if the Queen needs you, you got to drop whatever the hell you're doing and run and help her out. But no, it's a great honor. And but I stayed in a castle, and it sat right on the River Dee, D-E-E. And we're sitting around playing some music one day, and Paul Anderson played me this song. It's a song he wrote, and he came from a long line of old cattle farmers just like I did. I came from Oklahoma. We raised Angus, and probably some of our herd come from within a few miles of where we sat that day in Scotland, and the bloodline goes back that far. But he played me this song about an old cattle drover that goes across the country. He's driving his cattle down to Falkirk for the big sale, and man, it felt so much like home to me, and kind of just made me feel like I wanted to sing this song. So it's called The Bonnie Banks of Dee, and since I don't have Paul Anderson here from Scotland, I'm going to get another great fiddle player by the name of John Mailander to come out here and help me. Did you already do your set? Y'all got to catch John and his band tomorrow night at what, like midnight or something? 12:30. So right after this set, y'all all go to sleep, and maybe you'll be up for his set tomorrow night. We're gonna be in 3D, sorry. To see a border calling the beasts I driven to the bonny banks of Dee. A song to settle down my cattle, a song my heart, a care to free. I bedded down in Tullytown, here by the bonny banks of Dee. Alas, she stopped nearby to listen, a Tully girl of high degree. Another lass would ne'er surpass her beauty by the banks of Dee. Oh, come to me, my bonny lassie, come sit ye down upon my knee. We'll sing the old red songs together by the bonny banks of Dee. sat with me and we sang together. She spent the long night with me, her golden hair like threads of sunlight, eyes as blue as the pools of Dee. Next morning we awoke together and we swore we'd meet and marry be. I held her close, I kissed her lips, then parted by the banks of Dee. So when the larks and linnets fill the gloaming and the air hums with the honeybee, my old heart dares, I hear it still, her singing by the banks of Dee. Oh, come to me, my bonny lassie, come sit ye down upon my knee. We'll sing the old red songs together by the bonny banks of Dee. Oh, come to me, my bonny lassie, come sit ye down upon my knee. We'll sing the old red songs together by the bonny banks of Dee. Play sound, John. Thank you, John Mailander. Oh. Whew. You made Paul Anderson proud on that fiddle, John. He would love that. Just so y'all know, while I was over there in Scotland, I hired an engineer with a bunch of recording gear, and he came into that castle where we were, and we recorded a bunch of stuff, and I recorded that song. So maybe next, or in the spring when I come back, I'm pressing up some vinyl, because it seems like nobody buys CDs anymore, so that thing will be on there. The Bonnie Banks of Dee. Isn't that a pretty story? When the larks and linnets, that's another word for those little birds, I guess. When the larks and linnets fill the gloaming and the air hums with the honeybee. My old heart dirls, D-I-R-L-S, dirls. It kind of means my old heart quivers. My old heart dirls, I hear it still, her singing by the banks of Dee. All right, man, I'm all over the map today. I didn't know I was going to have the pleasure of having John. We've been trying to get together since last year when we played here together, and we both been going different directions, and we finally said last night, we were texting each other and decided, okay, today at 3:15, let's meet up, and so here we are. Talking these days, these days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you, and all the times I had the chance to. Well, I had a lover, and it's so hard to risk another these days. One of these days I sit on cornerstones and I count the time in quarter tones till 10. My friend, now don't confront me with my failures. Hell, I have not forgotten them. Moving home. 'Cause things are bound to be improving these days. One of these days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, well, that's wrong. Well, it's just that I keep moving for so long. So long. So long. We've been moving, John, so long. And we gotta keep moving. That's what we do. conversation, and you're trying not to scream and trying to tell them that you don't care what they mean. And you're really feeling fragile and you really can't get home. And you really feel abandoned, but you want to be alone. That's when you call old friends. They shine like diamonds. Old friends, you can always call. Old friend, Lord, you can't buy them. You know it's old friends after all. Is empty and the light begins to fade, and there ain't nothing to protect you but the window shade. When it's hard to put your finger on the things that scare you most, and you can't tell the difference between an angel and a ghost, you better call old friends. They shine like diamonds. Old friends, you can always call. Old friends, Lord, you can't buy them. You know it's old friends after all. It's old friends. Oh, they shine like diamonds. You know it's old friend after all. I'm gonna rent myself a house in the shade of the freeway. I'm gonna pack my lunch in the morning, and I'm gonna go to work each day. And when the evening rolls around, I'll go on home and lay my body down. And when the morning light comes streaming in, I'll get up and do it again. Amen. I want to know what became of the changes we waited for love to bring. Were they only the fitful dreams of some greater awakening? I've been aware of the time going by. They say in the end it's a wink of an eye. But when that morning light comes streaming in, I'll get up and do it again. Caught between a longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender, where the sirens sing and the church bells ring and the junk man pounds his fender. Where the veterans dream of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light, and where the children solemnly wait for the ice cream vendor. Out into the cool of the evening strolls the pretender. He knows that all his hopes and dreams and fight. They stare at the world with all of their might, while the ships bearing their dreams sail out of sight. I'm gonna find myself a girl who can show me what laughter means, and then we'll fill in the missing colors in each other's paint by number dreams, and then we'll put our dark glasses on, and we'll make love until our strength is gone. And when that morning light comes streaming in, we'll get up and do it again. We'll get it up again. I'm gonna be a happy idiot. I'm gonna struggle for the legal tender, where the ads take aim and lay their claim to the heart and the soul of the spender. I'm gonna dream in whatever may lie, in those things that money can buy. I thought true love could have been a contender. Are you there? Say a prayer for the pretender. He knows that all his hopes and dreams begin in there. Say a prayer for the pretender. Are you there for the pretender? Are you there for the pretender? Well, I've been out walking, and I don't do that much talking these days. Thank you. Ha. You know, I'm not gonna do that. Shit, I ain't do another sad one. I ain't. Well, I woke up bound and determined that I would not light up today. But one drag would sure enough stop my shaking on, and right now I could go either way. That angel, get off of my shoulder. That angel, won't you let me be? I'm a standing at the crossroads of temptation and salvation street. I know that the cap is on the bottle, and the bottle is up there on that shelf. should not gamble, because I can't afford to lose, y'all. 'Cause my woman would hang me, she'd hang me from the rafters with the laces out of my own working shoes. Everybody, bad angel, get off of my shoulder. Bad angel, won't you let me be? Won't you let me be? I'm standing at the crossroads of temptation and salvation, temptation and salvation, temptation and salvation street. How about it for my aunt brother, John Mailander? John Mailander, I love picking with you, brother.
Love you.
My aunt brother. I like that, don't you? There's a song about an old... Oh, no, hell, I'm playing the same song, just in a different key. This is a song about an old banjo picker. Everybody in Nashville loved this old boy. They called him String Bean. String Bean. They called him that because he wore, his Opry outfit was a big old long shirt. It went all the way to his knees, and then his belt went around his knees, and his pants were only this long from his knees to the floor. It made him look real tall. He wasn't that tall, but he looked tall and skinny in that outfit, and everybody called him String Bean. And everybody loved String Bean. John String didn't believe in banks, though. And the rumor got out that when String Bean got a check from the Grand Ole Opry, he'd go cash it and then take the cash back to his little cabin outside of Nashville and hide it somewhere around that cabin. And that was the story. And of course, it ain't nothing but kind of an amusing story until some bad guys get a hold of it. And these two old cousins, the Brown boys, they decided they was going to go out there one night. While String Bean was on the Opry, actually, they went and broke into his little cabin. They tore it all apart and they couldn't find his stash. So they sat down on his Naugahyde couch and they turned on his little radio and they listened to him on the Grand Ole Opry, waiting for him to come home, because they weren't about to leave without getting what they came for. On Ridgetop, Tennessee, in 1973, the Brown boys killed String Bean and Estelle. And the reason for it all was in the bib of his overalls. At least that's what the Brown boys would say. Yeah, it seemed like easy money, but old String Bean would not tell. Later we would learn that was the point of no return. They shot him dead and then they shot Estelle. That's his wife. Now there must have been one hell of a struggle for the cash in his big overhaul. Yeah, the brown boys said, don't give us no trouble string. They said we'd come for a little, but now we're gonna want it all. Yeah, the thief said, stand and deliver. But old string bean would not tell. And later we would learn that was the point of no return. That's when they shot him dead, and then they shot Estelle. 1, 2, 3. Well, it just so happened that right across the road from String Bean there lived another old banjo picker, another grand old Opry banjo picker. This old boy's name was Grandpa Jones. He wasn't that old, but when he put that makeup on and that old hat and them thick glasses, he looked like a grandpa, so they called him Grandpa Jones. Grandpa Jones and String Bean would walk out their front doors every morning and meet on that gravel road and walk right up the roadways and go fishing. Started off every morning fishing together. That's how good of friends they were. When he didn't see no smoke from the chimney, Grandpa knew that something was not right. And now it's burned evermore in his memory, the picture of that dreadful, awful sight. Oh, but then 23 years later, when they tore that old fireplace down, there was $20,000 that the Brown boys never found. Oh, it seemed like easy money, but things didn't go their way. It was just a little plan to rob a banjo man, but he would not let go of his Opry pay. No, he just would not let go of his Opry pay. I wrote this song with Guy Clark and Sam Bush. I got a call one morning, and it was Guy on the other end. He said, Verlon, get your ass over here. Sam Bush is over here. We're all gonna write a song today. Man, I leaped out of bed and took off over there. When I got there, Sam was telling this story about cleaning out his dad's desk. He'd just lost his dad not long before that. And he said, it's amazing the things you find stuffed in your dad's old desk. He said, way in the back there was a rolled up piece of newspaper. It was the front page from the Nashville paper in 1973. It was a picture of an auction. And the auctioneer was out at String Bean's little cabin. It was a picture of the auctioneer holding up String Bean's old overalls. Well, I ask you, is anything sacred? I do believe now I have seen it all. I read it in this morning's paper, where they auctioned off old String's overalls. sitting around one day with Daryl Scott. We were talking about banjo pickers and such, and Daryl said, you know, banjo is really the only truly authentic American instrument. I said, really? I don't know. Didn't the slaves bring it over? Because they had like gourds with a skin stretched over it and some strings, you know, some catgut. So we got to thinking about that old song, Old Joe Clark. And I said, I wonder, was Joe Clark real? And Daryl said, let's make him real. Now old Joe Clark, he made his mark when cotton was the king. And late at night, beneath the shanty lights, you could hear his banjo ring. It would ring out for the masters listening on the hill. And it'll ring out for the babies all sleeping quiet and still. And they'd say round and round, old Joe Clark, round and around I say, round and round, old Joe Clark, we'll carry you away. Round and around and around. And around and around, round and around and around and around, round and around and around. Well, he came out of the belly of a ship of slavery. And he was clinging to his banjo, but it was not on his knee. And then someone said, hey, here's a strong one, I bet you he could entertain. They said, we'll let you keep that banjo, son, but Clark is gonna be your name. They said, round and round, old Joe Clark, round and around I say, round and around, old Joe Clark, I will carry your ass away. Round and around and around, round and around and around, round and around and around, round and around and melodies of Cork and County Clare. He said he'd even played for Lincoln once outside the courthouse square. And then he went down to New Orleans, y'all, and down there they called him Dixieland. Yes, but everywhere old Joe Clark went, he is nothing but a hired hand. You see, everywhere old Joe Clark played, he was just another hired hand. And they'd say, round and around and around, play Joe Clark. Round and around and around, round and around and around, round and around and around. Yes, old Joe Clark, he made his mark when cotton was the king. And late at night, beneath the shanty light, you could hear his banjo ring. About 1825, I left Tennessee very much alive. And I never would have made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on a Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. Yeah, he had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. Trouble with my sweetheart's paw. One of her brothers was a bad outlaw. I sent her a note by my Uncle Fudd, and I rode away on a Tennessee stud. I rode on out across Arkansas. I whooped her brother and then I whooped her paw. And whatever, on the Tennessee. Whatever he did it on the Tennessee. Well, the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes are green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. 1, 2, 3. Then I got as lonesome as a man could be, dreaming of my sweetheart in Tennessee. And my Tennessee stud's green eyes turned blue, 'cause he was dreaming of a too. So we loped on back across Arkansas. That's when I whooped her brother and then I whooped her pa. And I found that girl with the golden hair, and she was straddle that Tennessee mare. Yeah, the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. And he had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. Baby on the cabin floor, we got a little horse colt laying round the door. And I love that girl with the golden hair, and my Tennessee stud loves his Tennessee mare. Don't you love a happy ending? Yeah, the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. No, there never was a horse like a Tennessee stud. And there never was a banjo man like String Bean. And there never was another banjo picker like old Joe Clark. And there never was a fiddle player like John Mailander. ready to leave there. My roots were deep and strong, but it makes no sense to be where all good hope is gone. Now, Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Now I have often wondered about the things that might have been, but looking back is useless. What's done is done, my friend. Though we can't go back again. And Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Long shadows, and they hide a sinner well. But hiding is not living, and I'm living hell. Oh, I'm living hell. And if I had it all to do over, I'd use a knife instead. Yeah, that cold dark blade is silent, and they'd still be just as dead. They'd still be just as dead. And Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. But carry me back to my mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly That's a song I wrote with my dear friend Sue Cunningham. That's the last song we wrote together. I know. You know, I never, I mean, she was actually quite ill when we sat down to write that song, and I don't know why. It never occurred to me that we were writing about a grave and dying and all that. And but I do know this. Sue sat across from me playing her fiddle while we wrote that song, and she played some of the most haunting, moaning, crying fiddle stuff that I've ever heard. And I think it was, you know, I think she was giving it all she had for that last tune. So I'm really thankful and blessed that I got to sit there and experience that with that human being. She was one of a kind, and we all miss her. Let me see. Gosh, I'm thinking what else we could play together that'd be fun, John. Anything would. Anything. Yeah, well, why not? I don't know if did we ever play that Needle in the Grooves? I don't know if we played this together. Never thought about having a fiddle on it, but hell. Just because I ain't thought about it don't mean it ain't gonna be something good. There's a lot of things I don't think about, and they all turn out fine. They don't need me to think about them to turn out good. So call me one of the lucky few. I've always done what I wanted to do, and it started back in 1962 when I dropped the needle in the groove. Well, all of a sudden, everything was clear. The far away seemed so near. I could go anywhere that I could hear when I dropped the needle in the groove. I went to Bakersfield with the Buckaroos. I saw Memphis in blue suede shoes, Folsom Prison, Tulsa time. I went to Carolina in my mind. I could walk the streets of Baltimore or waltz across Texas on a wooden floor. I was knocking on heaven's door when I dropped the needle in the groove. Do it again, John. No clue and no idea what I was supposed to do. You see, Mama was the only girl I ever knew till I dropped the needle in the groove. Oh, but then I heard all them singers all around the world singing all them songs about all them girls, and all that mystery soon unfurled when I dropped the needle in the groove. I met Maggie May and Maybelline. Hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, Norma Jean. Lay down, Sally, good night, Irene. And who could forget Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. To all the girls I've loved before, Michelle, my Sherry Amor, I wish they all could be California. I dropped the needle in the groove. Scratch and they skip and crack, but I hang on to my favorite stack. I listen to them and it takes me back. You see, that's my life there on every track. That's why I'm going to press up some vinyl, so I can listen to myself. Drop the needle in the groove and hear Verlon. Well, we've come a long ways from 78s and 45s and 8-track tapes and compact discs. And damn, I miss dropping that needle in the groove. So you can call me one of the lucky few. I've always done what I wanted to do. It started back in 1962 when I dropped the needle in the groove. When I dropped the needle in the groove. When I dropped the needle in the groove. 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 I dropped the needle. I dropped the needle. Hey, I dropped the needle in the groove. He carved it out of a chestnut tree, a maple tree. My great-granddaddy made this fiddle. He carved it out of a maple tree. He strung it up with some old catgut, and then he sent it on down the line to me. Then he paired it up with a stallion tail. Now see, shh. Okay, anybody recording, back up and erase that part. Well, my great-granddaddy made this fiddle. He carved it out of a maple tree. He strung it up with some old catgut, and then he sent it on down the line to me. He carved his bow from a chestnut rail and paired it up with a stallion tail. It had a rattlesnake rattling around, and this old hillbilly hand-me-down. Well, it's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Do that your girl and rosin up your bow. Get your elbow sawing up and down on this old hillbilly hand-me-down. Oh, it's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Let many square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. This old fiddle is an old heirloom. It's been in the family since the crack of doom. I was lost till I found this old hillbilly hand-me-down. Yeah, it's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go round and round. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. John, why did we wait for a whole year to get back together? We live about 10 miles apart. Damn. That ain't gonna happen again, brother. If I have to, I'll go track you down on the road somewhere and just rent a hotel close to where you are, and we can just sit and pick a while. One more time, thank you, John Mailander, for playing fiddle with me. Thanks, Beau. And seriously, if y'all can, go see his set tomorrow night. It's a whole different thing. His band is so cool. I mean, you might want to do some heavy drugs and just close your eyes. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying it makes you want to do that, you know, because it just feels good. It's just like free-flowing. I don't know how to describe it, John, except it's great, man. So don't nobody bother me, because I'm going to be sleeping from now till about 11:30 tomorrow night, so I can make the John Mailander show. Let's see, man. Why didn't you tell me, John? I was so... I banged the hell out of this thing. All right, you know what? I just want to say this, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to leave you. I got 2 or 3 more minutes left, but there's a lot of stuff going on out there in that big world, and what I want y'all to do, all I want to ask from you is just this feeling that we got here at this festival and in this room this morning. Don't leave it here. When you leave, take it with you and spread it around out there. We need this kind of stuff. That's all I'm asking. Just spread the good stuff. That's all, you know, because I truly believe if we just spread the good stuff, it can't be denied, because the good stuff is just more powerful than the bad stuff. And if we just spread it around, we'll be all right. So, yeah, I love y'all. Thank you for coming every year and letting me get up here and ramble like this and preach to you. You know, we all been coming to this damn thing for so many. We better love each other, because we spend a lot of time together. And if we didn't love each other, we'd all be fighting and doing all that other stuff that I'm talking about. So yeah, this feels good. Now if I could just figure out a... Well, hell, as long as we're on that, I don't think I know all this song, but I'll do what I know of it. That's always makes you really look forward to what's coming up, don't it? When the singer goes, I don't know this song, but hell, I'm gonna do it anyway. You're like, honey, grab your purse. Well, let's get the hell out of here. A secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major left, and the baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof, and you saw her bathing on the roof, and her beauty in the moonlight, it overthrew you. Then she tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne, and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew a hallelujah, hallelujah. All the time, and I never, it must be a folk song, but I always like that, the one he always usually does it last, and it says, what? Yeah. Let's see. So I did my best, but it wasn't much. I tried to feel and I tried to touch, and I never aimed to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'm gonna stand before the Lord a song with nothing on my lips but hallelujah. Y'all sing it, hallelujah. Thank you, John Mailander. I love you, brother. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate you. Thank you.